Success has a brutal truth. It does not care about your dreams. It does not bend for your emotions. It does not answer to your excuses. Success bows only to those who earn it, not with their words, but with their blood, their resilience, their relentless movement through storms that make others quit. Everyone wants the crown, but almost no one wants to carry the weight it takes to wear it. That is the truth no one wants to hear. We live in a world where people love to talk about success as if it is magic, as if some secret door opens for a chosen few. But success is not a mystery. It is a price. And most people are unwilling to pay it. They love the idea of the mountain, but they fear the climb. They want the victory without the battlefield. They want to be celebrated without ever being tested. Success is earned in silence long before the world applauds. It is built in the mornings no one sees, in the nights when your hands shake, in the moments where quitting whispers like a friend and discipline answers like a soldier. Success is not kind, and it does not wait. It does not reward the one who merely wants it. It rewards the one who refuses to surrender. That's the first truth. Success demands everything. It asks for your time, your energy, your pride, your comfort. It will ask you to break old versions of yourself and rebuild from the ashes. It does not negotiate. If you're not willing to give everything, you will never hold it. Look at the greats, every name etched in the bones of history. Thomas Edison failed more than 1,000 times before the world saw light. Henry Ford was mocked, bankrupt, and dismissed before he put the world on wheels. Walt Disney was told he lacked imagination before his mouse became a kingdom. Andrew Carnegie started with nothing but a fire inside him. Abraham Lincoln lost over and over before he led a nation. None of them were handed success. They bled for it. They gave everything they were to become everything they could be. And that's what most people can't stomach. The truth is, success is not supposed to be easy. If it were, everyone would have it. The climb is supposed to hurt. The weight is supposed to feel unbearable. The path is supposed to make you question yourself. That's the furnace where greatness is forged. The world remembers those who walked through fire and came out steel. It forgets the millions who turned back when it got hot. The second truth is this: success will break you before it builds you. It will strip away the comfortable illusions you live in. It will expose your weaknesses, your insecurities, your doubts. It will make you face yourself without filters. And most people can't handle that. They want the gold without facing their own rust. But real success doesn't build on comfort. It builds on character. Every mountain tests its climbers. Every door worth opening has a price to push it. Success asks, how bad do you want this? How much pain can you stand before you break? How many nights are you willing to stand alone? And your answers aren't spoken, they're proven in action. There are no shortcuts, no magic formulas, no secret handshakes. The truth that no one wants to hear is that success is slow, brutal, and merciless to the weak-willed. It doesn't care who you are. It only answers to persistence. It bows to the ones who stay in the fight long after others have left. But here's what they also don't tell you. The very storm that breaks most people is the storm that forges the few who rise. The very weight that crushes others is the same weight that builds the backbone of legends. You are not meant to avoid the pain. You are meant to become stronger than it. The battlefield is where you earn the right to call success your own. You can't fake it. You can't cheat it. You can't charm it. You can only fight for it. That is why most people only dream and never build. They want results without scars. But the scars are the proof that you were willing to stand in the fire while others ran for safety. Success begins when excuses end. As long as you have excuses, you will never have success. Excuses are soft pillows. They make failure comfortable. They let you sleep through your potential. People say, I don't have the time. But the truth is, time is not found, it's taken. People say, I don't have the resources. But the greats built from nothing. They carved their empires out of scarcity. People say, I'm not ready. No one ever is. Success doesn't wait for readiness. It waits for action. The third truth about success is this: Discipline will save you when motivation dies. Because motivation will die. It's fragile. It's loud in the beginning, like a storm that shakes the windows. But storms pass. And when the noise is gone, discipline is the only thing left standing. Discipline is quiet, brutal, and consistent. Discipline is the soldier inside you that gets up when everything else says no. The people who win are not the ones who feel inspired every day. They are the ones who move forward even when they feel nothing. They work when they are tired. They build when they are uncertain. They keep going when the applause disappears. Because they don't need someone to believe in them, they decided to believe in themselves long ago. Success is not about how loud you roar when it's easy. It's about how hard you grind when it's quiet. When there's no one watching. When no one cares. When quitting would be easier. That's the battlefield where winners are made. That's where the truth about success lives, in the quiet pain of consistency. And it is in this quiet that greatness is born. Not in the spotlight. Not on the stage. In the early mornings, when the world is asleep. In the late nights, when doubt whispers in your ear. In the cold grind, when it feels like no one will ever notice. But that's exactly why success is so rare. Most people only love the idea of being seen winning. They don't love the darkness required to become a winner. You will be tested. Not once. Not twice. But over and over again. Life will throw storms at you not to destroy you, but to see if you truly want what you say you want. It will give you pain, not as punishment but as proof. Every setback will ask you the same question. Will you keep going? And the ones who answer yes, not with their mouth, but with their hands, their sweat, their unshakable persistence, those are the ones who rise. Success doesn't have favorites. It doesn't care about your background, your family name, your circumstances. It cares about how far you're willing to go when things get ugly. Because they will get ugly. There will be days when your heart aches, when the silence is deafening, when the weight of your dream feels unbearable. But that's not a sign to stop. That's the price. And only those who keep paying it find the treasure on the other side. The fourth truth about success is this. Most people will give up far too soon. They will stand inches from the gold and walk away because it didn't happen fast enough. Because it hurt too much. Because they believed the lie that success should be easy if it's meant to be. But the truth is, the gold is always buried deep. It was never meant to be easy to find. It was meant to be claimed by the few who never stop digging. The ones who succeed are not superhuman. They are not chosen. They simply decide that no amount of pain will make them quit. They bleed. They stumble. They crawl. But they never stop moving. That is the unglamorous, unromantic, uncomfortable truth about success. It's not about being the smartest. It's about being the one who stays in the fight the longest. Look again at the names history carved into stone. Edison faced more failures than most people could stomach. Lincoln lost more battles than most would dare to fight. Disney went broke, Ford was called insane, Carnegie was underestimated. They could have quit. The world would have understood. But they didn't. And because they didn't, their names became immortal. The world won't remember the ones who almost tried. It won't remember the excuses. It remembers the finishers. The stubborn, relentless few who walk through hell and didn't blink. And that is why the truth about success is not glamorous. It's harsh. It's unforgiving. But it's real. And the moment you accept this truth, you stop expecting the path to be soft. You start sharpening yourself for the storm. There is no easy road to greatness. There never has been. There never will be. If you want to walk the path, you must learn to love the climb. You must become the kind of person who is unshakable, unstoppable, untamed. The kind who doesn't need perfect conditions to move. The kind who builds when it's hard, not just when it's easy. Success doesn't belong to those who wait for a clear sky. It belongs to those who build their wings in the rain. Most people will never see success not because they lack talent, not because they lack intelligence, but because they cannot endure the silence. The silence is where nothing seems to work, where no one is clapping, where your efforts echo into the dark and return with nothing. That silence is where dreams either rot or are forged into something unbreakable. The weak call it a sign to quit. The strong understand it is the initiation. The silence is the most dangerous battlefield because no one will cheer for you there. No one will tell you to keep going. No one will applaud your invisible labor. And this is where most people fall apart. They think silence means they're not progressing. They think the lack of applause means they're not enough. But silence is not the enemy. Silence is the weight room of greatness. It's where character is built. It's where your mind either breaks or becomes diamond. Look at the lives of those who built legacies that outlived them. Thomas Edison was alone in the lab when everyone called him mad. Henry Ford was laughed at long before the assembly line roared. Walt Disney drew alone while his dream was dismissed. Abraham Lincoln faced loss after loss before anyone took him seriously. Andrew Carnegie worked in the heat of steel mills long before anyone called him great. They did not need applause to keep going. They learned to walk through silence like warriors. Here's the truth people run from. Success is lonely. It's not a crowded road. It's a narrow path carved through long nights and quiet sacrifices. It demands that you keep showing up when it feels like no one cares. And the world doesn't see those nights. It only sees the moment the light finally shines. But the shine is nothing without the silence that built it. The fifth truth about success is this. Your pain is the proof that you are growing. Success will not come wrapped in comfort. It will not arrive dressed in ease. It arrives wearing the mask of struggle. And most people will spend their lives running from that mask, not realizing it was their destiny standing in disguise. Pain is not your punishment. It's your training ground. The most dangerous thing a person can believe is that the path to success should feel good. It won't. It will feel like weight on your chest. It will feel like doubt crushing your lungs. It will feel like every part of you is screaming to stop. But that's the sign that you are on the right path. You are not meant to coast to greatness. You are meant to fight your way there. People admire success from afar but turn away when they see what it truly costs. They see the victory but not the battle. They see the light but not the wounds it took to bring it to life. If you truly want it, you must be willing to bleed for it. Not once, but over and over again. Not because pain is noble, but because greatness demands it. And here's another truth. No one is coming to save you. No mentor, no miracle, no perfectly timed opportunity will hand it to you. The greats were not saved. They saved themselves. They stood in the storm when everyone else was on their knees and said, "If this is the price, I'll pay it." And they did. Over and over again. Discipline will be your greatest ally, but loneliness will be your constant companion. You will lose people on the journey. Friends who loved your comfort but not your climb. People who understood your past but not your vision. You must accept that not everyone can go where you're going. The road to greatness doesn't have room for the crowd. The sixth truth about success is this. Your excuses will destroy you long before failure ever does. Excuses feel warm. They feel safe. They give you something soft to hold while your potential dies quietly in the corner. But the truth is, every excuse you make is a stone you lay on the wall between you and your future. Keep stacking enough of them, and soon you'll build a prison out of your own words. I don't have time. But you find time for distraction. I don't have resources. But the greats built with nothing. I'm not ready. But no one ever is. I'm tired. So is everyone else who wins. Excuses don't protect you. They sedate you. They convince you that survival is enough. But survival is not success. Survival is the slow death of people who once had fire inside them. Success will demand that you stop negotiating with your excuses. It will demand that you silence the voice that says, tomorrow, and act today. Because tomorrow doesn't exist. Tomorrow is a lie people tell themselves to feel safe while their dreams suffocate. The truth is, if you can't move now, when it's hard, you won't move later when it's easy. And it never gets easier. The world is full of people who will tell you to wait until the time is right. But the time is never right. The time is now. Right now. In the storm. In the chaos. In the uncertainty. Every moment you delay is a moment someone else uses. Every second you hesitate is a second lost to someone who refuses to. The seventh truth about success is this: success is not a single victory. It's war. It's a war against your doubt, against your laziness, against your fear, against the seductive pull of comfort. Every day is a battle. And the enemy doesn't sleep. Comfort doesn't stop calling. Fear doesn't stop whispering. Doubt doesn't stop breathing down your neck. The war never ends. You simply become a better fighter. And this is why most people lose. They think success is a single mountain to climb. But it's not. It's an entire range. One peak after another. One war after another. If you stop fighting, you fall. And that's why discipline matters more than motivation. Why resilience matters more than talent. Because success is not a moment. It's a way of life. You must become someone who does not stop when the world grows quiet. Someone who does not need applause to keep walking. Someone who can build in the dark. Because the truth is, no one will believe in you at the start. They will doubt you. They will laugh at you. They will say your dream is too big. And that is your signal to keep going, not your permission to stop. Think of Abraham Lincoln, who lost election after election before becoming the leader of a nation. Think of Walt Disney, who was told he lacked imagination. Think of Thomas Edison, who failed 1,000 times before the light bulb lit. If they had waited for approval, we would not speak their names today. They became unstoppable because they didn't ask for permission. They decided. The eighth truth about success is this: it will isolate you before it elevates you. The climb to the top is narrow. Few can walk beside you. And this loneliness breaks most people. They crave validation, so they stop climbing to stay where the crowd is. But the crowd lives in mediocrity. If you want the extraordinary, you must be willing to outgrow the ordinary. You will be misunderstood. You will be doubted. You will walk alone more times than you can count. But the silence at the top is worth every lonely night at the bottom. Because up there you become who you were meant to be. Up there you see the world differently. Up there, the noise fades, and the vision is clear. The ninth truth about success is this: no one owes you anything. The world doesn't owe you applause. It doesn't owe you support. It doesn't owe you understanding. And if you wait for it, you will wait forever. Those who succeed don't wait to be carried. They build their own wings. They don't wait for permission. They create the path themselves. The greats weren't handed their dreams. They carved them out of stone with bloody hands. They didn't complain about the mountain. They climbed it. They didn't beg for help. They became help. And because of that, their names outlived their lifetimes. Success demands ownership. It demands that you take full responsibility for your life. Not partial, not conditional, full. Every mistake. Every decision. Every outcome. No blaming. No pointing fingers. Because the moment you give away responsibility, you give away power. And that's what most people will never accept. They would rather complain than create. They would rather point than build. But you cannot create greatness with borrowed power. You must take it back. You must own your story, your fight, your rise. The 10th truth about success is this: everything you want is on the other side of pain. Not beside it. Not around it. Through it. You cannot outthink the pain. You cannot avoid it. You must embrace it. Because pain is not a wall. It's a door. Most people turn away at the first knock. But the ones who walk through find what everyone else only dreams about. Pain will sharpen you. It will strip away weakness. It will turn soft intentions into hard edges. It will show you who you really are. And when you come out the other side, you won't just have success. You'll have power. Not the kind the world gives, but the kind no one can take away. Success will not come to those who tiptoe around pain. It comes to those who face it head-on. Those who bleed for their vision when no one's watching. Those who decide that the sting of growth is a better pain than the slow rot of comfort. That is the real truth people don't want to hear. Success isn't a trophy you find. It's a war you win. And the war is against yourself. Every time you doubt yourself, every time fear tries to wrap its hands around your throat, every time your mind whispers that you're not enough, you are standing on the battlefield. That moment isn't weakness. It's the doorway. That's where champions are made. Champions are not born in victory. They are born in the mud, in the struggle, in the moments that look like failure but are actually transformation in disguise. The truth is, success doesn't feel like winning at the beginning. It feels like losing. It feels like pushing a boulder uphill while the world stands at the bottom laughing. It feels like sacrificing weekends, sleep, comfort, relationships, certainty. It feels like walking into darkness with nothing but faith in your hands. That's why most people don't make it. They think discomfort means they're on the wrong path. But discomfort is the only proof you're walking the right one. Think of Thomas Edison failing thousands of times. Think of Walt Disney rejected over and over again. Think of Abraham Lincoln losing election after election. Think of Andrew Carnegie rising from factory floors. Think of Henry Ford mocked as a fool. All of them walked through fire. And they kept walking when others turned around. The 11th truth about success is this: the world will doubt you first. It always does. When your dream is still fragile, still growing, it will be laughed at, ignored, rejected. People will project their fear onto you. They will say it can't be done, not because it's impossible, but because they could never imagine themselves doing it. If you need approval to keep going, you won't last. Success requires walking alone through the forest of doubt. They won't believe in you at first. But they don't have to. You have to believe in you. That belief is not arrogance. It's your shield. Without it, the world will crush you. With it, nothing can touch you. This is why the greats were called crazy before they were called geniuses. Edison, Ford, Disney, they weren't chasing approval. They were building their vision. And the world followed after they built, not before. Success is lonely because the beginning is always invisible. No one sees the hours you put in. No one sees the battles in your head. No one sees the pain in your chest when you keep going after every door slams shut. But that's the point. Those invisible hours are where you separate yourself from the crowd. The crowd wants the spotlight. The successful master the shadows. The 12th truth about success is this: you will outlast people who once outran you. Talent starts the race. Discipline finishes it. Many people will sprint ahead of you in the beginning. They'll shine fast. But when the road gets long and brutal, they'll fade. Because they were in love with the excitement, not the endurance. The world is filled with sprinters. True success is reserved for marathoners. Discipline is your armor. It's what wakes you up when passion dies. It's what moves your legs when your soul is tired. It's what keeps the fire alive when the world grows cold. Passion is the spark. Discipline is the engine. Without it, your dream is nothing but smoke in the wind. And here is the 13th truth. Success has no shortcuts. The moment you look for one, you've already lost. Every shortcut cuts away the strength you need to carry success when it finally arrives. The climb is not the obstacle, it's the training. It's how you become strong enough to hold the dream without it breaking you. People want the mansion without laying bricks. They want the applause without standing in silence. They want the victory without fighting the war. But a kingdom built on shortcuts collapses under its own weight. Real success is heavy. That's why it demands strong hands. And those hands are forged in the grind, in the dirt, in the relentless repetition no one else wants to do. The 14th truth about success is this: the world will try to pull you back down. The moment you rise, you become a mirror. Your success reflects other people's excuses back at them, and they won't like it. Some will doubt you louder. Some will try to mock you. Some will call you lucky, privileged, arrogant. Not because of who you are, but because of what your growth reveals about them. If you need the world's approval, this will break you. If your foundation is built on external validation, it will crumble. That's why you must build your foundation on something unshakable: your vision, your discipline, your relentless refusal to quit. Because success doesn't care who claps. It only cares who climbs. Think of every person who ever changed the world. None of them were universally liked at the start. Many were hated, mocked, dismissed. Their names are celebrated now, but in their time, they walked through storms of criticism. What made them different was simple. They didn't stop to argue. They built. They moved. They let results speak where words would have been wasted. The 15th truth about success is this. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's the raw material that builds it. You cannot succeed without failing. Not once, not twice, but over and over again. The road is paved with bruises. Every misstep is a brick in the foundation. Every fall teaches you a lesson strength will never teach. But failure only builds you if you let it. Most people use failure as proof to quit. The few use failure as proof they're in the fight. When Edison's inventions failed thousands of times, he didn't see defeat. He saw information. When Lincoln lost elections, he didn't see rejection. He saw preparation. When Ford was bankrupt, he didn't see the end. He saw the beginning. Failure is not the signal to stop. It's the signal to sharpen. Most people want to avoid failure at all costs. That's why they live small. That's why they never begin. That's why they talk more than they build. But the successful know failure isn't something to avoid. It's something to collect, study, and rise from. Every fall is a map pointing to your rise. Every scar is a weapon. The 16th truth about success is this. The price never gets cheaper. The higher you climb, the heavier the weight. Comfort is a liar. It tells you that once you reach a certain point, things get easier. They don't. You get stronger. The mountain doesn't shrink. You grow bigger legs. You build lungs for higher air. The weight doesn't disappear. Your shoulders get broader. If you're waiting for the struggle to vanish, you'll wait forever. Real success isn't about escaping struggle. It's about mastering it. Learning to breathe where others suffocate. Learning to fight where others fall. Learning to keep your head high while the wind tries to break your spine. That's why success isn't crowded. Because most people want ease more than they want greatness. They want soft hands more than calloused ones. They want to talk about dreams, not carry the weight of building them. But greatness has always belonged to the builders, the fighters, the relentless. The 17th truth about success is this. Success doesn't reward wishes. It rewards work. Loud dreams mean nothing without sweat. Wanting isn't enough. Hoping isn't enough. Talking isn't enough. You must act. You must bleed for what you say you want. Because the world does not listen to words, it listens to effort. You can tell the world your dreams 1,000 times. Or you can show it once through your actions. That single moment of proof is worth more than a lifetime of talk. Because the world doesn't reward noise. It rewards results. The 18th truth about success is this. Gratitude is your anchor. When the storms come, and they will, gratitude keeps your feet on the ground. It keeps your heart alive when pressure tries to harden it. The greatest winners never forget what they've fought through. They don't let success make them blind to their beginnings. Gratitude is not weakness. It's power. Because the person who remembers their roots never becomes entitled. And entitlement is the quiet assassin of success. The moment you think the world owes you something, you've already started to fall. Gratitude keeps you sharp, humble, hungry. The 19th truth about success is this. Adaptability will keep you alive when the plan shatters. And it will shatter. No plan survives the storm untouched. The people who fail are the ones who fall in love with their plan more than their vision. The people who win are the ones who bend but never break. Who adjust their sails when the wind shifts, but never lose sight of the horizon. The greats never married one way. They adapted, evolved, outlasted. Ford adapted to changing industry. Edison adapted to every failure. Disney adapted to every rejection. Lincoln adapted to every defeat. Carnegie adapted to every hardship. Success doesn't demand perfection. It demands evolution. The 20th truth about success is this. Resilience is your crown. Success will knock you down harder than anything you've ever faced. It will strip you, crush you, drag you through mud, and then ask if you're still willing to fight. Most people stay down. A few rise. And those who rise again and again become unstoppable. Resilience is not about being unbreakable. It's about being unyielding. It's about taking the hit, falling to your knees, and rising anyway. Over and over. Until the world realizes you cannot be broken. And that is why success belongs to the few. Not because they're lucky. Not because they're chosen. But because when the world said, "Stay down," they whispered back, "Not yet." Success doesn't come to those who talk about it. It comes to those who build while the world sleeps. It comes to those who keep swinging long after their arms grow heavy. It comes to those who crawl when they can't walk when they can't run, and run when everyone else collapses. That is the brutal, unpolished, unglamorous truth about success. The world loves to romanticize the moment someone stands on top of the mountain. They love the image of triumph. They love the smile, the glory, the storybook ending. But no one wants to see the years of storms that built that moment. No one wants to see the mud under the nails, the sleepless nights, the battles fought in silence. Success doesn't come wrapped in light. It's forged in darkness. The 21st truth about success is this: you will be misunderstood. People will not understand your grind. They will not understand your silence. They will not understand why you're willing to suffer for a dream that doesn't yet exist. And they don't have to. Your vision wasn't given to them, it was given to you. Stop expecting them to see what only you can see. Greatness is often invisible until it's undeniable. Thomas Edison was mocked until the light shone. Henry Ford was dismissed until the wheels rolled. Walt Disney was laughed at until a mouse became a kingdom. Abraham Lincoln was doubted until he led a nation. Andrew Carnegie was underestimated until his empire rose from steel. Their visions didn't need to be approved. They needed to be built. The 22nd truth about success is this: no one will give you permission to rise. No one will walk up to you and say, "Now is your time." That moment doesn't exist. The moment is when you decide it is. Success belongs to those who stop waiting for open doors and learn to break them down. If you're waiting for permission, you'll die waiting. If you're waiting for conditions to be perfect, they never will be. The ones who rise are those who begin in imperfection, build through resistance, and create their own momentum. The 23rd truth about success is this: success is quiet. Real success doesn't scream. It doesn't need to. While others boast, the truly great build. While others seek attention, the great seek mastery. It's not the loudest who win. It's the most consistent. Noise fades. Results echo. The world is full of talkers. People who speak of goals as if speaking alone will make them real. But the world doesn't bow to words. It bows to results. To proof. To action. The day you stop talking about what you're going to do and simply do it, that's the day your life changes. Not because anyone else changed it, but because you did. The 24th truth about success is this: comfort is the enemy. The second you choose comfort over growth, your climb ends. Comfort kills hunger. It whispers lies into your ear. You've done enough. Take it easy. You deserve to rest. And it's seductive because it feels good in the moment. But it robs you of the fire that made you start. Greatness doesn't grow in comfort. It grows in pressure, in risk, in heat. Diamonds are forged under pressure. Champions are forged in discomfort. Legends are born when everything inside them screams to stop and they move anyway. The 25th truth about success is this: you will fail. Not once. Not twice. But countless times. And each failure will either break you or build you. The choice is yours. Failure is a mirror. It shows you who you are. It strips away your illusions. It confronts you with the truth. Are you here because it's easy, or are you here because you refuse to leave? Most people treat failure like a wall. They hit it and turn around. The successful treat failure like a door. They hit it, study it, break it down. Every great victory stands on a pile of broken attempts. Edison's light bulb, Ford's car, Disney's dream, Lincoln's leadership, Carnegie's empire. None of it was clean. None of it was smooth. But it was real. And reality builds legacies. The 26th truth about success is this: hunger must outlive hardship. When your body is tired and your spirit is worn, hunger is the force that keeps you moving. Hunger doesn't care about comfort. Hunger doesn't care about timing. Hunger doesn't care about failure. Hunger whispers in the dark, "Get up." Hunger is what separates those who want it from those who take it. There will be nights when the world feels too heavy, when your dream feels too far, when everything you've built feels fragile. Those are the moments when hunger decides your future. Those who give in to the weight never return. Those who rise through it become unstoppable. The 27th truth about success is this: vision without execution is hallucination. Dreams are cheap. Execution is everything. It's not enough to imagine the life you want. You must build it, brick by brick, day by day. Dreams without action rot. Action without vision dies. But when vision and relentless execution unite, empires rise. The people who talk about what they're going to do never make it. The people who do, quietly, daily, relentlessly, are the ones the world remembers. Every great legacy began with invisible, unglamorous, backbreaking work. The kind that nobody celebrates. The kind that nobody claps for. That's where destiny is built. The 28th truth about success is this: time is your greatest currency, and most people waste it. They wait for someday. But someday is a myth. There is only now. Every second you delay, every minute you hesitate, every hour you waste in distraction is time you'll never get back. And while you wait, someone else is building the life you want. You must become ruthless with your time. Not careless. Not gentle. Ruthless. Time is the one currency that doesn't refund. And the world doesn't care how much of it you waste. Success will not wait for you to get serious. It rewards those who move before they're ready. The 29th truth about success is this: your environment can either starve or feed your growth. If you stay surrounded by people who fear change, you will inherit their fear. If you stay surrounded by mediocrity, you will become it. If you stay surrounded by those who settle, you will shrink. But when you surround yourself with the relentless, the dreamers who act, the builders who bleed, you grow. Success is contagious when you breathe the same air as those who refuse to quit. You must protect your space like your life depends on it. Because it does. The 30th truth about success is this: your identity must evolve before your life does. You cannot build a new future with an old mind. You cannot step into greatness with the same habits, same fears, same story that held you down. The world doesn't change for you. You change and the world responds. That's why success isn't just about what you do. It's about who you become. If you want to rise, you must shed the old version of yourself, the one that settled, that waited, that made excuses. You must become the kind of person who can carry the life you dream about. Success demands transformation, not imitation. The 31st truth about success is this: your word to yourself is sacred. Every time you say you'll do something and you don't, you kill a part of your belief. Every broken promise to yourself becomes a crack in your foundation. And a cracked foundation cannot hold a kingdom. The greats protect their word like gold. When they say they'll do something, they do it, especially when it's hard. Their identity is built on trust in themselves. That's why they don't rely on motivation. They rely on integrity. That's the silent strength behind every empire. The 32nd truth about success is this: most people will never reach it because they keep negotiating with their weakness. They keep making deals with fear. They keep letting comfort win small battles until their war is lost. You can't negotiate with weakness. You crush it. You starve it. You replace it with strength. Every small surrender chips away at your potential. Every time you choose the couch over the climb, the distraction over the discipline, the excuse over the effort, you lose ground. Success doesn't accept half efforts. It demands your whole heart. The 33rd truth about success is this: Success is earned, never inherited, not truly. Even if you inherit wealth, you can't inherit hunger. You can't inherit discipline. You can't inherit vision. These things must be built within. If they're not, the crown slips from your hands. History is filled with empires lost not because they lacked gold, but because they lacked grit. Success isn't about what's given. It's about what's built. And the builders will always outlast the inheritors, because what they've earned cannot be taken away. The 34th truth about success is this: success doesn't forgive weakness disguised as entitlement. The moment you start believing the world owes you something, success leaves. Entitlement blinds you. It makes you lazy. It makes you soft. Success bows to hunger, not entitlement. To discipline, not arrogance. To resilience, not expectation. The 35th and final truth is this: success is not a destination. It is a becoming. It is the endless climb, the never-ending stretch. It's not about standing at the top and shouting. It's about waking up every day with fire in your chest and saying, I am not done yet. Because the truth, the raw, unfiltered, uncomfortable truth, is that success is not given to the dreamers. It's given to the relentless. It's earned in the nights when no one's watching, in the mornings when your bones ache, in the storms when everything tries to break you. You want to know why most people never see it? Because they don't want to bleed for it. They don't want to be alone for it. They don't want to be misunderstood, doubted, bruised, scarred, stretched for it. But the few who do, the few who embrace the climb, the silence, the pain, they don't just touch success. They become it. And when they stand on the mountain, they don't need the world's applause. Because the mountain isn't the prize. The transformation is. The greatest truth about success is that it demands the entire soul of a human being. It strips away every excuse, every layer of weakness, every comforting illusion. It doesn't want who you are right now. It wants who you must become. It's not looking for someone to whisper dreams. It's looking for someone to embody them. Success is not for the half-hearted. It's for the obsessed. For those who rise when their legs shake. For those who push when their lungs burn. For those who step forward when the world says, turn back. It's for the ones who understand that success isn't something you meet at the finish line. It's something you carry with you through the war. Most people will live their entire lives at half power. Not because they're incapable, but because they never demand more from themselves. They'll look at greatness like it's a distant star, meant for someone else. But greatness is not distant. It's waiting at the edge of your comfort zone. The line between mediocrity and mastery isn't intelligence. It's courage. The courage to do what others won't. The courage to begin when the path is unclear. The courage to rise after being broken. This is the truth most will never accept. You are the only one standing between yourself and the life you want. Not the world. Not the critics. Not the system. You. Your hesitation. Your excuses. Your fear. Your unwillingness to be uncomfortable. That is the wall. And the second you stop negotiating with it is the second your life changes forever. The greats never waited for perfect conditions. They built in the storm. Thomas Edison kept inventing in the dark. Walt Disney drew when the world mocked him. Henry Ford built when they called him insane. Andrew Carnegie rose from nothing. Abraham Lincoln kept fighting when defeat seemed certain. They weren't waiting for a miracle. They became the miracle. The moment you realize no one is coming to save you is the moment you become dangerous. Because then you stop looking for help and start becoming the help. You stop begging for opportunity and start building it with your bare hands. You stop asking for permission and start kicking down doors. That is when the world begins to shift around you. Not because it suddenly became easier, but because you became stronger. Success is a storm. It doesn't knock politely. It tears through your life and asks one question. Will you stand or will you fold? And most people fold. Not because the storm is too strong, but because their belief is too weak. Your belief must be louder than the wind. Louder than the fear. Louder than the voices that tell you it can't be done. This is why vision is not a luxury. It's a necessity. Vision is the compass in the dark. It's the fire that keeps burning when everything else goes cold. Without vision, pain will break you. With vision, pain becomes fuel. Every setback becomes a forge. Every failure becomes instruction. Every doubt becomes background noise. You can't fake that fire. You either have it or you build it. And building it means walking through the furnace willingly. It means choosing the hard road when the easy one is begging for you to stay. It means living a life most people won't understand, so one day, you can live a life they can't imagine. The world won't applaud you at the beginning. It will doubt you, ignore you, question you. But that's the gift. Because obscurity is your training ground. The shadows are where you learn to swing without applause, to bleed without pity, to build without permission. When the spotlight finally comes, you won't be fragile. You'll be unstoppable. This is what no one wants to hear. Success demands that you give up the need to be liked. You cannot please the crowd and build an empire at the same time. The crowd loves comfort. It loves excuses. It loves the illusion that success is rare, that only the lucky get it. Because if they accept that anyone can earn it, they'd have to face their own inaction. You must be willing to be misunderstood, ridiculed, even hated. Because true builders do not follow the crowd, they leave it behind. The path of greatness is lonely for a reason. Not because it was meant to be empty, but because most people turn back too soon. They run when it gets dark. They retreat when it gets heavy. They crumble when it gets quiet. And only the few, the rare few, walk on. And when they reach the summit, people call them extraordinary. But they were never extraordinary. They were simply the ones who didn't quit. The fire inside you must burn brighter than the fire around you. That's what separates the successful from the dreamers. Dreamers love the idea. Builders love the pain. Because they understand that pain is not the punishment. Pain is the path. It is the toll you pay to build a life worth living. And here's another truth. The world will give you exactly what you're willing to tolerate. If you tolerate mediocrity, you'll live in mediocrity. If you tolerate excuses, you'll drown in them. But if you decide to raise your standards, truly raise them, the world will meet you there. It always does. Life does not give you what you want. It gives you what you demand of yourself. Every person who rose from nothing understood this. They weren't given more. They expected more of themselves. They refused to live soft. They refused to stay where they started. They demanded that the fire inside them roar louder than the noise of the world. That's why success isn't a secret. It's a standard, a way of living, a daily decision to walk the harder road, to be the one who doesn't need to be told, to move even when no one watches. You must become your own revolution. The moment you stop waiting and start moving is the moment your life splits in two. The person you were and the person you're becoming. And the bridge between them is built with discipline, sacrifice, and relentless movement. The climb will never be easy. It's not supposed to be. Easy roads build soft people. Hard roads build legends. Every scar you collect along the way becomes proof that you stood where others fell, that you fought where others fled, that you became something most people only talk about. When Abraham Lincoln stood on the edge of defeat, he didn't retreat, he rose. When Thomas Edison was surrounded by failure, he didn't stop, he adjusted. When Walt Disney was rejected, he didn't listen, he built. When Andrew Carnegie was underestimated, he didn't fold, he forged ahead. When Henry Ford was mocked, he didn't fight for approval. He made the world need what he built. These are not just stories. These are reminders. Examples carved into time to remind you that success is not reserved for a chosen few. It's claimed by the relentless. The final truth most will never accept is this. You already have everything you need to begin. Not everything to finish, but everything to start. And starting is the difference between those who talk and those who build. Starting is where fear loses power. Starting is where the mountain begins to bend. Starting is where ordinary ends and destiny begins. Stop waiting for a sign. Stop asking for permission. Stop hoping the world will make it easy. It won't. And that's exactly why it's worth it. Because only those who rise in the storm get to see the sunrise at the top. You don't need perfect conditions. You need a decision. One decision. To stop being who you've been and become who you're meant to be. To stop waiting for the world to open a door and build your own instead. To stop speaking about your dream and fight for it. Because this is the truth about success no one wants to hear. It's not a gift. It's not a secret. It's not luck. It's earned every single day, through pain, through fire, through resilience. And if you're willing to pay the price, the world has no choice but to hand it to you. You don't need their approval. You don't need their applause. You don't need their belief. All you need is a heartbeat, a vision, and a refusal to quit. When the dust settles, the world remembers two kinds of people. The ones who talked about what they could have been and the ones who became it. Which one you'll be is decided not tomorrow, not next week, not when it's easy now. Rise. Not when it's convenient. Rise when it's hard. Rise when it hurts. Rise when the world doubts you. Rise until they have no choice but to call you unstoppable. This is the truth about success no one wants to hear. And this is exactly why it belongs to the few who do.